welcome to Arts Dynamics Talks and Arts Dynamics. I'm Sofie Marin, the founder and CEO of this organization. We are a creative tech cluster based at Epicenter Stockholm and a learning network as well. And as part of that, we have several members now joining, both from Sweden, the Nordics, and abroad. And amongst them, I'm so delighted to welcome Piteå Science Park and their CEO today, Henrik Bucht, because we're going to talk about who they are, what they're doing, why they joined our cluster as well. But also, I'd like to pick his brain on what he is also seeing, because there's a lot going on right now up north in Sweden. So not only what are they doing, what are some of the opportunities that they are seeing, but also some of the threats or challenges, and what are their solutions to that. So Henrik, I just want to say very welcome to this talk.
Well, thank you very much.
So
great to be here.
Yes, and it's great to have you. I've been looking forward to this. This actually kicks off our summer series as well. We're going to do this weekly now for the whole summer, and you are the first to open up the series. Yes. So Henrik, for people who might not know what Piteå Science Park is, and also who you are as a CEO, please share a bit more about yourself and Piteå Science Park.
Well, thank you very much, and great to be here, as I said. I've been working as a CEO for Piteå Science Park now. It's my 6th year. And, I'm not from this background. I have, as I will tell you later on about Piteå Science Park, I come from a humanity kind of background when I was young. And later on, I studied natural science. So I have come from both the humanity and the natural science background, and this mixture that I will come back to later, that I really like, where different kind of people meet each other, and that's kind of my background as well, where I had a wide experience from both humanity side and natural side. I've been working in the forest industry for 20 years before this, and I have a master's degree at the University of Agricultural Science. So that it was until 2020 when I decided to change into this kind of work. So at the Piteå Science Park, and if I tell you something about Piteå Science Park. It's we have like 3 main areas at Piteå Science Park. It's as you say, it's way up north, Piteå, and Piteå Science Park is a part of the municipality of Piteå. But we have 3 main areas. We have a big concert hall. The concert hall of Piteå is called Studio Acousticum, where we host around 200 concerts per year. But it's not just a concert hall, it's a stage for democracy and dialogue for people in Piteå and in northern Sweden, I would say. It's an open space for the people of Piteå with a strong digital presence as well. We have recorded a large amount of content to make accessible to people who cannot physically attend the concert hall, which is very important for us. We are located right next to the Department of Music at Luleå University of Technology, and they use the concert hall in their studies for about 50% of the time. So they get in contact with professional environment. So that is one of our 3 main areas. The other one is Go Business. And Go Business is an incubator and a hub for the creative and cultural entrepreneurs. It's not a traditional incubator. It's an incubator that primarily focuses on not on scalability, but rather on the individual, the passion of the entrepreneur, and the human passion is the center, as we say. We believe that personal development is it's a prerequisite for building successful companies in the long run. So that's why we try to focus on the person behind the idea, the company idea. So we have created this digital hub where entrepreneurs can meet and interact in one way as Arts Dynamics, of course, which made it very interesting, this kind of environment that you have created. To be a part of Go Business, we look, of course, at the entrepreneur skills and the drive, but we also look at the group dynamic, of course. We want to, again, as we will talk about later, we look at the environment in the whole, not just one entrepreneur, but the whole. We want to have a mix of people to create the most stimulating and development environment for the companies or the entrepreneurs that are part of the Go Business incubator. So that's Go Business have been an incubator. We've had that kind of area since 2008, so it's quite a long time now, and we have helped a lot of entrepreneurs in northern Sweden, not only in Piteå, of course, but in the region and both in Norrbotten and Västerbotten for all these years. About 200 to 300 companies have passed the Go Business incubator. Sorry. The third area is the most traditional science park, where we run numerous development projects together with companies, together with the municipality and the research institute RISE. And these projects span the culture and creative industries, as well as forestry, composites, and energy sectors. And in this work, we operate at the municipal, at the regional, and at national levels. So again, we're not just in Piteå, of course. These questions and the need of of bigger companies is big and can't stay in the municipality of Piteå. It's a wider interest. So these are the three core areas of our operations, and in addition to that, we have also the environment where we are situated at Acousticum in Piteå, and we have the music academy here, but we also have a business park with a lot of companies. We have Norrbottens Musiken, we have RISE, and we have the concert hall, of course. And it creates this chemistry where different kind of people meet each other, and where you have both high innovation level and development, I would say.
I have to say, the combination that you say, all these different strands, and also the fact that you have music so close to what you're doing, and even your own concert hall. I mean, how common is that? And is there any other science park? And also for our international viewers, we are talking about Sweden, by the way, and the northern parts of Sweden. We do have an international community, so I just want to emphasize that. We've got several science parks in Sweden, but obviously your science park seems to be a little bit different. So tell us more about that, the link to music, your concert hall, if others are doing the same or similar.
Great, thank you. Yeah, it's quite odd, I would say. It's not common at all. I don't think it exists in other places at all. So, but it's not a coincidence. I would say, if I talk a bit about Piteå as well, it's a heavy industry city with big forest industries, and already in the mid-50s. They saw that Piteå needs something more than just the industrial workers. So they started a high school for music and art, and that's where it began the combination of culture and industry, kind of. So have a high school called Framnäs, still working, still very high level, I would say. And in the 80s, we got the high school of the university here as well for music academy. So this combination is very Piteå, I would say. But it's not common in the national context. We're quite alone of this mixture, and it makes us. We have created an interesting and good environment for people to meet, I would say, and to develop.
100%. And what I've noticed as well during the time we've known each other is that you're also walking the walk. There is a lot of talk in Sweden, in the Nordics, in Europe about cross innovation, the importance of coming together and joining forces and forging new paths. There is often a lot of talk, but what we're lacking many times are concrete examples. And I also have a lot of people asking me and also our ecosystem for concrete examples. So can you show us, what was working? Can you show us what is the ROI? I often get that from other sectors, especially more commercial sectors. They're asking, what is the financial ROI in this? How can we measure the impact of this? And for you, with your work, I know that you are so entrenched and you've got so much data from your projects as well. So let's just sort of dive into that a little bit. I really want to know if you can give a few examples for people who are listening where you've noticed a need, let's say a project where you've cross-innovated. You talked about the industry and the music and culture and other sectors. What would be a project maybe that you could highlight as an example of how you came together, you as a science park, what you brought to the table, and also the results that came out on the other end?
Great, of course. If I start with Go Business, the incubator, we have a lot of, as I said, we worked a lot of just the chemistry of the companies that are involved or are a part of the program, and there is something special when you have an entrepreneur from like app creator meeting a design expert or an art designer, where they meet and they get connected and they find a collaboration that develop both companies. We have a lot of examples from that where you see a great progress, and we have a lot of numbers that can prove the importance of these kind of meetings, both that they are still a good and strong companies after many years, and where they still have these kind of cooperations. So that is one example. We also have a long history of projects where we call them the cross innovation, intersective innovation, where we make sure that people from different companies meet, and we also there have good examples where often it's from like technical heavy companies meeting the creative person, and where they find collaborations and business collaborations that strengthen both companies. We also now in Go Business have a project called Mindset, where we have big industries like Coop, the food store, and one example with Polarbröd, that is a big producer of bread, where they have collaborated with culture and creative businesses, to find solutions of their challenges. So they're very, very satisfied of the results from that. They have found a new way of handling their challenges and their rest streams from the bread production, for example, where they find new way of handling it. So that's areas where we're still working, and we're still the interest from both the industry is high, and from the culture and creative branches, where we also find a way for them to get in the long run more income streams, of course, from these kind of collaborations, where we hope that the big industries the big companies sees the needs of taking these branches or these companies into their daily work.
Yeah, I think this is so fascinating, and I know you have a few examples on your website as well, which I highly recommend people check out. We'll make sure in the show notes afterwards to include website links for people to go and find out more information afterwards. I also know that there are several people joining us live as we are doing this as a live stream online. So please feel free to say hello. Let us know who you are, where you're from, and also if you have any questions for us here during this session today. If you're listening to the audio version in podcast format, I do believe we actually do have comment sections there as well. So this is really an ongoing conversation that we are having. And I might also take an opportunity here to mention the purpose behind these talks. They were started during the pandemic so that I could get some intel from people who were working at the forefront of creative intake and entrepreneurship and business, just to learn what was working, what wasn't working, and what they saw from different parts of the world. So, and that led, Arts Dynamics was an arts entrepreneurship education company. Now we also have this cluster and innovation hub, and now we've got more and more members joining, like yourself. So the fact that we are able to tune in live with you as we do today, it also means that the insights that you're coming with today is like super fresh. It's the latest of the latest. I also want to give you an opportunity today, Henrik, to also share more about where you are, where are you situated today, and also what you're seeing around the corner. And we do have an election coming up this autumn. Obviously, there's a lot of positioning right now in our country for funding. There's a lot of talk about also tax rebates, from sponsorships, or for, in corporate sector, go in and sponsor cultural and creative projects and stuff. For you as a science park, how do you orient yourself in that?
Yeah.
Does the question make sense when I say that? Do you mean, yeah?
Yeah, it does indeed. Yeah, the industrial revolution, kind of that, where the green revolution that we talk about is happening, especially in northern Sweden, and we have a lot of challenges, but also opportunities in this industrial revolution, kind of, and what do I mean with that? Well, as I said in the beginning, Piteå Science Park Piteå is a very industrial heavy. So we need more people up here, and we need more different kind of people up to northern Sweden, and there comes the importance of the culture part, I would say, and especially nowadays with the challenges around the world with the different with the political challenges. I think our task is even more important. Piteå Science Park, we try to become, or we are in many ways as well, the place where different people meet. And why do we want that? Well, the main reason, there are different reasons and many reasons why it's important to meet different kind of people, but we want to minimize the polarization of today, and I think we have we have meetings that we call acousticum talks, where we gather people from across the entire value chain of different industries, or the forest industry, for example, or the energy sector, or the mining that is big up in northern Sweden. We try to lighten different perspectives and gather different people from the whole value chain to discuss and to inspire each other and to create understanding for each other, to decrease the polarization within people. We think that is more important than ever. We work also a lot more now, the last 5 years, I would say, with younger people, because there as well we have a big challenge that they don't really believe in democracy any longer, and to make young people a part of our development in early stage. We think that's the way of engage enthusiasts and engage younger people, and to make them believe in the democracy and in the society. So it's big questions, and I think we have become a very important part of that challenge, I would say.
I think that's what you're saying right now. I'm hearing two things. One is the language, by the sound of it, the fact that you're able to bring people and companies and organizations together from different sectors. It means, by the sound of it, that you're able to explore and find ways to communicate with each other and also understand one another. I find that also with what we are doing within this cluster, sometimes it's, it's about how we talk about things, how we communicate about things, not only what we are saying, but how we are saying it, and also what's not being said. Sometimes it really starts with just that, open curiosity and to really be open to learning and unlearning. But also what I'm hearing you say regarding democratic values and the youth. Tell me more about that, Henrik. When did you see that shift? If you notice that now the younger generation is sort of starting to doubt democracy, I mean that's a big one. Where is that coming from, do you think?
That's a big question as well. I think the possibility for younger people to make an impact and to change the society. I think they feel that they don't have that impact any longer, and that's why it's important to create meetings where they feel that they really can have an impact on the. To start with small questions, of course, but to have an impact in their living or in their daily life. So we are working a lot with the young people in Piteå, and also at the music academy here in Piteå, to make them to strengthen them in their way of living. And of course, these meetings is, as you say, the purpose of it is to create a great understanding between people and encourage dialogue and help reduce this polarization as we see across the world, I would say. So we have a long way to go, but we have started in these last 5 years, I would say, this journey.
Yeah, what I've also noticed since we gotten to know one another is that you're very digitally driven. We have a lot of entrepreneurs, artists, freelancers, and creative entrepreneurs. And I often get asked about marketing and visibility, and they find it often challenging to know how to market and sell what they're doing, how to package what they're doing. And I sometimes say that, it doesn't have to be perfect to get started, but you need to start for things to get perfect. this podcast or live stream is a perfect example of that. And I just wanted to share a little anecdote. I've never shared this with anyone, but also in the spirit of this conversation, Henrik, the fact that we are even here today was actually because I did that. I recorded a Swedish podcast, a cultural entrepreneurship, and I was like, should I even do it? And I was like, yeah, I just, I had people ask a few questions. I recorded some episodes, put it on Spotify, didn't think much about it, didn't, spend a lot of time on intros and outros and all this amazing music. I literally just recorded some tips that I wanted to share. And then suddenly I hear from someone from Go Business who reaches out and for some reason had found one of those podcast episodes about sales and packaging and how to price your offers. And on the back of that, I came in as a teacher, and I came in to do, I've done a few now with you. I've been blessed to come and do some teaching and training on the back of that podcast, which was recorded in my own kitchen. And on the back of that, then we started to talk more about, bigger things, and now here we are, and we're doing a live stream talk, and we're talking about Piteå Science Park and all the amazing things that you're doing. So I'm just thinking sometimes what you're talking about, bringing people together, sharing experiences, and it starts with that meeting. It starts with that first time we connect, and sometimes it doesn't even have to be that big. That spark needs to happen, and from that anything can unfold. So first of all, thank you for finding me on that podcast. It's amazing to be here.
Yeah. Well, as you say, we have been digital for many years, but we also believe in the physical meetings, of course. And when we started Go Business 2008, it was a physical incubator, most for the students that attended the music academy here. But during the years, especially up in northern Sweden, where it's quite far between the entrepreneurs. We have Jokkmokk entrepreneurs from Jokkmokk, north of the Northern Circle, about 300 kilometers away, that can meet people in Umeå or entrepreneurs in Piteå or Luleå. So we saw that we need we needed to add the digital forum as well to enable people to meet regarding where in Sweden they were, especially as I said up in northern Sweden, where it's quite far between the bigger cities. So we believe in the physical meetings, but we also saw the need of these kind of digital meetings. So that's when we decided to take the step of making Go Business completely digital. So we don't have any hybrid meetings. We think it's quite hard to have those kind of hybrid solutions. So we went all in for the digital path. So that's when it comes to Go Business. The Studio Acousticum, the concert hall, already when it was created at the beginning of 2000, they were, as I said, we have a RISE, the Research Institute, in the house as well. So we had a quite high level of research, or was very modern when we created it, and already then we got the possibility of these digital meetings, and that's what we're working with today as well, making digital possibilities for elderly, for example, to watch and enjoy some music from the concert hall, for example, or our Acousticum talks as well. We have them on our web page, so it's free to watch as well. So we think it's a good complement for our meetings to make them digital as well.
Yeah, and also thinking of digital in the entrepreneurial sense, there is this big global community of digital nomads, freelancers or solopreneurs who are traveling the world. But as you say, especially with our country and many countries here in the northern part of the world, it's like they're very long. There's long distances. So it works really well also for us as a nation. And it also means you're covering a lot of ground also outside of the regions that you operate in. And the fact that you do have physical presence is great. And also the concert hall, as you mentioned. On that note, I'm curious, as a science park, where does your funding come from? There again, in the creative spaces now, and also in cross innovation, there is a lot of search for money and for funding. So how are you funded as an organization?
Our company is owned by the municipality of Piteå, so we have a funding from the municipality to start with as a ground, but we have a lot of money coming from projects, a lot of European money, ERUF projects. So it's both municipality money, regional money, national money, and European money. So we have a lot of different income sources. But it's a challenge with these project monies, of course. And if you take Go Business for an example, it's one big project, the whole incubator, and has been so for all years, and it's challenging. It is, but it's also a great possibility to explore and try different way of making impact.
Yeah. And in an ideal world, what would that look like for you, funding-wise? Also, from both public funding or private funding, or also project-based, but long-term. What would be ideal for you?
Mostly, it's 3-year funding now, projects of 3 years, and it's good. I think the projects are a great way of trying new things and to see what works and what doesn't work. But the problem is if you find something that really works, but can't really manage to have an economy and survive without the project money. So that's the big challenge, I would say. So of course, our goal is of course to make our project become funded in different ways after 3 years, but it's a challenge, I would say. So of course we in the best dream scenario we had a bigger funding from the region or from the national parts, but it is as it is now. So
who knows?
Exactly, yeah, but we see possibilities with it, I would say, mostly. And I love the way of these 3-year projects, because it makes the whole organization, it makes like a new start again every 3rd year, and it makes the company rethink and develop and get new ideas, and we always we have very passionate people working at Piteå Science Park, and they are curious and they want new ideas, new projects. So the project part is important, I would say, for the development of the company, but also of other companies, of course.
And with your vast experience in the intersection of creative and public and private sector and all the things that we've discussed, what if I'm going to ask you this because this is something that often comes up. Let's say you work in the cultural and creative industries. You might be an entrepreneur or you might be an organization, and you do want to work more with industry. You mentioned the forest industry, you mentioned mining, could be other sectors. How do you get them to see the value as an artist, as a creator, coming from the cultural field? How do you get them to see the value that you have to offer? What are you picking up on your end?
Well, I think as I said, that's where these projects come in. I think they are very good opportunities to try to create these kind of meetings. And we have, of course, at the beginning we had challenges of getting the big industries interested in these kind of meetings. But after a while, when they've tried it, they see that the results from it and how it changes the company as well, or develop even the big companies and the people within the big companies. So you have to be a bit pushy at the beginning to make them interested. But then when they see the results from it, my experience is that after that they come back and they want more of these kind of cross innovation meetings.
So is it through the meetings that they discover the value? They might not know or understand the value beforehand, but when they meet, because they have something concrete to center around, is that the reason?
That's right. Yeah. As you asked before, these concrete example of innovation and development. When they see those examples, of course, they want to explore it again. So that's one good way of getting relevant.
Yeah, and I also urge anyone who's listening now, if you have any examples of the things that we are talking about, we want to know, because when it's one thing to talk about cross innovation and working together across sectors, but we need to understand also how to communicate. What are the KPIs, the ROIs? How do we track and measure what's important? How can we communicate the value that we are adding to the other party, and also vice versa? I know I had a conversation with a bank, for instance, and the bank said, the person representing the bank said that innovation is very common now. Many companies, they at least have some sort of a focus on innovation. But he said that creativity, on the other hand, that's a different matter. It's not really the same as innovation. And that's where many artists and creators can come in, because they have a completely different way of looking at things. Even, normal processes or systems, or things happening inside of a normal like a corporate company or private company, they come in and then they bring a different perspective. Is that something you're seeing on your end too?
I would say, yeah, indeed. And also, if I go back to Piteå Science Park in itself, the result of that we work both with culture companies or the culture sector and the bigger industries like forest industry and energy sector. The result of that is that we have employees with different backgrounds. We have civil engineers, economists, and musicians, and journalists, and so it's within Piteå Science Park as well an example of where different people meet each other, and where the both innovation happens and development, I would say. So we live as the way we teach as well.
Yeah, you do, for sure. And a year ago, I think I mentioned at the beginning, you wrote this STEM article in Dagens Industri. Now, a year later, we are sort of coming to the end of one season, moving into the Swedish summer, and then planning ahead for the next year. What has happened since you wrote that article? Have you noticed any changes, any feedback on your article, on your thoughts on the matter? What are you seeing regarding STEAM?
We got a lot of curiosity, and we're not alone in this area, of course. And we connected with different parts, and we're going to be at Almedalen this summer, where we are invited to join a meeting there with Jönköping municipality, for example. And we've been in contact with both Lindholmen Science Park that is interested as well in both the STEM discussion, but also the culture area that we have in focus as well. So they see also the importance of being both in culture and industry sectors.
Yeah.
So yes, we have had a lot of both interested in. We have had a lot of interesting discussions and meetings after last year.
Yeah, that's great, and it's great that you're going to Almedalen, this big week for politics and all the sectors to meet. All the politicians are coming, private sector, public sector, all the different sectors are meeting for a week at Gotland outside Sweden. Well, it's in Sweden, but it's an island where we all go at the end of June. And I'm saying this because we have a big ecosystem also listening to this talk and to our upcoming talks as well. So for your information, Henrik, you mentioned you're going to be there. We've got other members of the Arts Dynamics Creative Tech Cluster are also going to be there. Riksteatern, for instance, the Swedish National Touring Theatre are going to be there. We're obviously going to have Kulturlyftet and Folk and Kultur going to be there, and others, as well as Epicenter is also going to be there. So for anyone listening who feels like actually we want to connect with the members inside of this community, people like Henrik and Piteå Science Park and others, do reach out. Because as we said at the beginning, we want this to be a live dialogue where we actually, co-create things as we go. This is not just a talk, it's actually us also making some changes as we do that together as a community. So, but that's great. And as you said with STEAM, I see a lot of conversations about that, and it's great that you have RISE there as well, because you have that connection. So I'm curious for you as a science park, when you joined also this creative tech cluster with Arts Dynamics, what did you see for you particularly? What made you want to join? Also, what do you feel that you also want to give or contribute to the community? And also, what can we then do for you?
May I comment the STEAM first a bit more?
Of course, we've got plenty of time. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. I would say it's very like spot on Piteå Science Park again. I mean, the STEM concept is very, very important in both in Piteå Science Park, but in Sweden as well. We have a lack of science, technology, and engineer and mathematics, as it stands for, people within that area. So I do really think these areas are very important, and this focus on these areas are important. But this as we say, the art part of it has a lot of value as well. It's a value in itself for all these arts and creative fields. The creativity, the culture and design, the storytelling, and so forth. So it's very important in the society to have these areas as well. But on the second, it's also a way of and a powerful tool, as I have had examples of earlier. Powerful tool for strengthening the learning and innovation within STEM subjects themselves. So I think it's spot on what we're doing at Piteå Science Park. So it's not a new thing for us to work with the STEAM concept.
No, as you say, and also you do have concrete examples to show for it. And STEAM internationally is also well known. I'm hearing more and more about it in Sweden and the Nordics. It's not new as such, but as you said, you are also as an organization very much at the forefront of those discussions, and also leading discussions and a thought leadership in that field. So it's going to be interesting to see what will happen especially these next few months, and also with, again, the election coming up, and we've got a world, we're living in a world right now where is moving at an exponential rate. It's moving really, really fast. So I don't know about you, but I feel it's so important to stay true to the signal, to get rid of the noise, to know what to focus on, and also to know what to say no to.
That's right. Yeah. So back to your question about the Arts Dynamics. Yeah, we got in contact last year, and it's a very it's one in one way it's digital as well. A lot of your meetings, and we saw a big value of being a part of your society and community. And it's in one way a go business, a larger go business kind of. With different kind of companies joining, and as I mentioned earlier, the different companies leads to different perspectives and unexpected meetings and development that comes as a nice gift. So I think you have a great idea and meeting possibilities in Arts Dynamics, and that's why we said we must be a part of it, because it's so much that fits into our way of thinking as well, and the needs of meeting people and so forth. So it was an easy decision to join.
That's wonderful. And I think also sometimes we say, we want, networking and meeting more people, but sometimes it's actually not just about, how many we meet, but it's actually the right kinds of people, and to also curate the context that we have, because there are so many networks and people that we can meet, but it's also who are the right people to connect with, and also when there is a timing, I think, to things as well. So Henrik, what do you feel that for people listening and tuning in and that want to know more about you, what do you feel that you can really where do you feel that you can really add value to others outside of your own ecosystem, for others now to connect? You mentioned a few examples already where they want to know more about STEAM and STEM, and your work there, but also in a wider concept. What do you bring to the table? That sounds awful. What I mean is, what is it that you feel like, yeah, this is us, you should connect with us if you want X, Y, and Z?
Yeah. Thanks for asking. Well, it depends on who you are, of course. I would say our value of good business for a smaller entrepreneur is very big, and to join that society and community would bring a lot of experience and development to your company, of course. So that's so if you're in that kind of development stage of your company, it could be a great possibility to join. And also, if you're a bigger company and see the need of these cross innovation meetings, I would say it's also interesting. So again, it depends on where you are, but we are also into, like, as I said, the forest industry as an industry itself. So all our meetings aren't with this mixture. So we have projects that are directed to different categories, different branches as well. So it depends. We have a wide area of interest. So it depends on where your company is, I would say.
Yeah. Do you also do advisory for larger organizations? Let's say they're looking for guidance and they're looking for ways to connect also regionally, where with companies and organizations where you are at. Do you help guide people and open up those kinds of doors?
Not that much, no, not yet, at least. So,
not yet. No, it's for the future, right?
No.
Yeah. And what can we do for you What are you looking for? What is your ask? I give a shout out to Edgar Epicenter because he said that when I came here. It's like, Sofie, what is your ask? And I'm like, my ask? Yeah, I have to think about that. And since then, obviously, here we are. So I'm paying that question forward to you, Henrik. What is your ask on behalf of you and Piteå Science Park?
Yeah, of Arch Dynamics, you mean?
No, of you. I mean, for us, what kind of support? You're doing so much for so many other people.
Yeah.
What are you looking for, and how can we help you? How can we support you?
Well, just to make this opportunity for one example, but also for us to meet other companies within different areas, as I said, and branches, it makes us develop, and again, to meet different kind of companies makes, and these unexpected meetings is where you develop the most, I would say. So that's what we're looking for, and also, of course, new collaborations and possibility to, as we mentioned earlier as well. Of course, the economy is important as well, to meet new collaboration, to create new collaborations and meet new people to make new projects or make new businesses is important as well, of course. So we have also here many reasons to be a part of Arch Dynamics and to join your meetings, I would say.
Oh, brilliant. And likewise, of course. And I can highly recommend both We Go Business and your other things that you're doing. Is such a high quality. Really, really happy that we're doing this together. And when you're looking forward now to, let's say, 12 months from now, given the fact that speaking of exponential times, there's so much going on. I'm actually surprised that we haven't touched even on the word AI yet. Normally we entered into AI very early on in these kinds of discussions, but digital disruptions, geopolitical uncertainty, war nearby. What are you seeing from where you are at? Almost like a flying reporter, coming in here, Henrik, and saying, this is what I'm seeing from your horizon. And as you now embark on the journey of the next 12 months on behalf of your organization, what are you seeing? How are you navigating these next few months to surf the waves of whatever it is that you are seeing?
Yeah.
It's a big question, but we want to hear it all.
Exactly, yeah, in 8 minutes. Well, one area that is in focus, I would say now, is of course NATO, and how that will affect Sweden, and maybe especially the northern part of Sweden, and also the defense industry as well as a big. We see that a lot of these, as we talked earlier about these projects and the money we get from projects, that it changes the purpose of it, and it goes, a lot of the European money goes into the defense industry now, and of course that's a big challenge for us as well, that work in different areas. But the soft defense, that's one area that we look a lot upon now. How do we create a resilient society, and a soft defense with both the culture and new areas where we, as we talked about as well, the democracy questions and so forth. So it's important that's where I see, that's what's coming up here. I think that the importance of these kind of meetings and the effect of the society that NATO will have, and the disaster we have in Russia and Ukraine, for example, it affects us a lot, and it's important that we create a strong defense, and also soft defense. I mean, with culture values and democracy values. So I hope that we will continue developing those areas the most, I would say.
Yeah, we need to also stay in touch regarding that, because we are doing a lot also here with our cultural firewall. We would love to have you on as experts from your end, because you cover, the northern part of Sweden as well, and you are so entrenched in what's going on the ground. We have the cultural firewall within Arts Dynamics. We've got cybersecurity experts working alongside us. In fact, and this is a little bit of a spoiler on the back of what you just shared, next week for these Arts Dynamics talks, I'm bringing on an expert who has within the cultural firewall initiative to talk about cybersecurity, how to stay safe, artistic freedoms, democratic values, freedom of speech. So it actually it seems almost as if we had planned this, but we actually didn't. It just goes to prove that this is real time that we're having these conversations. Henrik, I think that sounds I look forward to more about that. Is there anything else that I haven't asked you that you feel like you want to share with the world that we need to talk about, or something you want to just address?
Well, I must say that I'm originally from the southern part of Sweden. I moved up here 20 years ago to Piteå, and it's an amazing place to live at, I would say. And one challenge we have is that we need more people, and we don't even have we have like 2.5-3% of unemployment. So if you want to move here, you're welcome. Even you, Sofie. So we need more educated people, or people overall, and come up here and explore northern part of Sweden, and Piteå especially, that I really love, and it's a amazing place to live at, and with nice people, and high level of as I said, also a municipality that really focus on cultural questions, and are like supporting the job that we are doing within these areas. So that's what I really want to put focus on. That's Piteå's extraordinarity.
Yes, and well, duly noted. And do you have any ask of the politicians? Anything you want to know or want them to answer before the election in September?
Well, of course, there again, I'm a bit concerned when we see the lack of politicians from northern Sweden in Stockholm. So that's one big challenge, I would say, that we need more presence from politicians from northern Sweden to educate and to inspire and to share the challenges and the nice and to share the nice areas of northern Sweden, and to share the lovely place where we live.
Yeah. Okay, that's excellent. So we send it out to the universe, and we hope that the universe answers with more representations from the north. That's fantastic, Henrik. Thank you so much. Again, we've got several people joining us still. It's so great that you're with us this session, the first of our summer edition of Arts Dynamics Talks. You've noticed that we've spent a lunch hour, in Swedish at least, a lunch hour, talking to our member organization, Piteå Science Park. They have this huge ecosystem where they are really driving change, as you've heard, in the intersection of creativity, cultural and creative industries, technology, business, innovation, research. And I highly recommend for everyone to check them out even more. And also, as you've heard Henrik say, they also have several case studies, like real case studies and showcases of actual projects that they worked on, where they can also track and measure the return of investment, because we do know that many ask for that. And they have many wonderful examples of what can happen when we come together and work together. And also, like you said, Henrik, I really like that when you said that sometimes we actually don't know what it is that we get out of working together. We can't really, communicate about it, but when we do get together, we will actually discover what it was that we could explore together. So I think that was like a very nice way to sum it up. So please, for people listening, say hello in the comments. Let us know what your biggest takeaway was from this talk today. If you have any further questions, let us know. Also, let us know who you are, where you are from, and also how we can continue to support you moving forward. Henrik, I'm going to give you, because we are wrapping up, any final word you want to share. Now is your time. Where can people find more information, and also any final words?
Yeah, please visit our webpage or give us a call if you're interested and curious in our work. And I'm really glad I got this opportunity to be a part of this new forum. So thanks a lot, Sofie, and I'll be visiting you a lot of times further on. So.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Henrik. Thank you to everybody for joining us live. Every Thursday, the same time throughout the whole summer, you'll be able to meet thought leaders just like Henrik to learn what they are doing, what they're seeing, opportunities, threats, challenges, possibilities, everything in between and beyond. And like I said, next week, we're going to have a focus on cultural firewall and cyber security. If you are in Stockholm visiting, do come by Epicenter Stockholm. This is where we are based. That's also where I'm broadcasting this talk from. And also go to artsdynamics.com if you want to find out more about who we are and what we do. And obviously our amazing members, because this is all about the people that are part of the ecosystem. No one can do it by themselves, especially now when so much is happening at once. But together we can figure things out. So that is my final word of encouragement, and also sending some positive light and hope. I really do believe that the future is what we want to make of it, and also that we can create much more than we actually think. So we hope that we've been able to inspire and empower you. Henrik, again, thank you so much to you for also being here, and to Piteå Science Park for the amazing work that you do. And with that, let's say thank you, and over and out.
Thank you.